So this is the Melt Cosmetics Gemini 1 and Gemini 2 palette. I didn't have either, and now I have both. Let's talk about them. Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So I am starting, I don't want to call it a series, but a type of videos where I talk about things. And what does that mean? So they're not first impressions because I've used them a couple of times, the product, whatever I'm talking about, but it's also not a full in-depth review because it's not necessarily all like review type of commentary. It might be, but like, let's just talk about it. Sometimes I want to talk about something before, you know, I fully have tested it through all the check marks of a review type of test. Does that make sense? And I love talking about makeup. And so when you see, let's talk about it, we're talking about it. How I feel about it, how I feel about everything around it, not just the product, that kind of thing. The cats are everywhere, okay? I am doing this video in natural light. I really like filming in natural light, so, okay. I am wearing both palettes on my eyes today, and in this video I have a clip of each eye just so you can see them in action kind of thing. So, let's back up, let's talk about it, So, craziness. Let's start with the Gemini 2 really quickly. So first off, I'm a Gemini. I don't know why I didn't buy this just because of that, because I do stuff like that. But here we are. This is the Gemini 2. This has been all over Obama's internet right now. It's the newest palette from Melt Cosmetics. I'm opening it up in a minute. It's the newest palette from Melt Cosmetics. And yeah, people have been loving it. These rosy tones, this is what it looks like. These rosy tones, you have beautiful rosy tones into some greens here. It's a 10-pan eyeshadow palette. So I've been seeing it, plenty of videos, plenty of reviews, Instagram, everywhere. A lot of people, I saw Emily Noel 83, she did a video with this comparing it to the new Patrick Ta palette because that's kind of rosy a little bit. So yeah, I was like, this palette is beautiful. I need to get on it. Okay, and so I go to Sephora to swatch and all this and, you know, buy it because that's what I'm about to do. And I see the Gemini 1. Now, from my understanding, the Gemini 1, this was not the original packaging. I don't know if the Gemini 1 was a limited edition at the time, but anyway, I know they re-released it. They brought it back. So I'm assuming it was a limited edition. And I saw this in Sephora and I was like, I don't own the Gemini 1. And I was torn because I was like, all right, I'm gonna get one. And I was torn and I got both of them. And I want to talk about these palettes. Let's talk about them. So before I talk about them, let's talk about Melt really quickly. So people have said that they have found inconsistencies in Melt's formula in their palettes. I've heard that from a few reviewers and comments online. I can't say that. Every palette that I have from Melt, as well as their single eyeshadow stacks, I've enjoyed and they're fine. I think they are really great quality eyeshadows. They are the kind of mattes that I like, super pigmented. Love packing those type of shades on. I don't have any issues, but I'm also a makeup collector, a huge makeup user, and so I don't really use the same palette over and over to like hit pan and like see significant changes over time. Cause some of the comments are like, you know, as the palette gets older or what. I'm not that person for that. In terms of the inconsistencies, in terms of like from one palette to the next, haven't seen that either. Except in I think the Weed palette, where the shades just weren't given what they were given, but I wouldn't call that inconsistent because that's the only palette that I kind of had that issue with. They weren't given what I needed them to give. But everything else in terms of quality was great. It was just that palette, I was expecting something else and it just wasn't what it gave me, what it wasn't giving. So anyway, these palettes, I I hopped on it. I am very excited. So they're both 10 pan palettes. They retail for $50. They retail for $58 a piece. That is high. That is high. Do I think they're worth it, the $58? I will say I think the $58 is fine. That's what I'll say. I'd rather pay less, obviously. But I don't think I'd pay any more than around $60 for these. So it's very subjective in terms of like, is it worth the price? It's very subjective, but I absolutely love these. Okay, the packaging is beautiful. So the Gemini 1, you have this green background with these roses. Also, rose is the birth flower of June. June Gemini stand up. This is just everything. I don't know why I didn't get this. I don't know why, but we're here. And so this does focus on the green. Like I said, each are 10 pan palettes, and both palettes have 8 matte shades and then 2 non-matte, and we'll get into that. I've already used this palette, obviously, but the mattes have this beautiful raw rose embossed on it. Absolutely beautiful. The other one is the same way. But the Gemini 1 really focuses on your neutrals and greens, and even split pretty much. We have a black in the middle. But you have your neutrals and then you have your greens. This shade called Gemini is, first off, I don't know if you guys know, rose gold is my favorite eyeshadow color. It really is. You have that metallic rose gold, and then you have this shade. The rose gold is called Gemini, and then this beautiful metallic green is called Goals. And everything else in the palette is matte. This middle section of the palette, you're getting into your grungy shades. You're getting into the grungy, the grungy brown, the grungy green. That's what we're getting into, and I really, really like that. Hold on, I'm trying to get my wipe out because I'm never, ever prepared. Sidebar, you guys. I was watching my very first makeup collection video 10 years ago. And in the beginning of that video, I was talking about, I'm doing my collection's really small, and I'm doing my makeup collection now because I plan on being on YouTube for a long time, and I plan on growing and having a makeup collection like the people I look up to on YouTube. I definitely gonna have to put that clip in my next makeup collection video. But anyway, so yeah, so that midsection is getting really grungy. The light shade is not too light. This is called Luna. It's a beautiful, beautiful tan shade, perfect for the lid if you're doing an all matte look, all matte glam look, perfect for the lid. I think the matte browns in this one are really, really nice for a brown smoky eye. Take it day to night, baby, day to night. So yeah, that first half is wonderful, and then the greens are wonderful. I really like green. Green, I think, is an underrated eyeshadow color. You really can, I think it looks good on all skin tones. You really can do something with a green, baby. We have this beautiful mochi. I really like this yellowish green, kind of like one of the gross greens, as we say, or baby poop green. And so yeah, I was like, I gotta pick it up. And then rose gold and green together, who would have thought? I mean, roses do it, so. Now let's get into the Gemini 2, the palette that really got me into looking back at the Gemini palettes. This one is giving all the rosy burgundy you need. It is lighter on the green. We only have 3 greens in here. Again, 8 matte shades, 2 non-matte, but these mattes are not as metallic-y. They're not as metallic-y as the ones in the Gemini 1. You have Schmood, baby. Schmood, which is a satin burgundy. And then we have Matteo. Okay. Which is a satin deep forest green. And these are the only 2 non-matte shades you have. So if you want shine, you're not going to get it in the Gemini 2, but you are going to get a beautiful rosy look. The matte tones in here, absolutely beautiful. So the lighter shade in here is definitely pinkier than the one in the Gemini 1. This is Bella. Bella. This shade is actually what I have on the lid on this eye here. Absolutely beautiful, super pigmented. And I love Love Sick and LX Queen, the two kind of deeper shades. So I will say these palettes complement each other well. Do you need both of them? I'm gonna be on, well, no one needs both of them, but I would suggest both of them, and here is why. Because this section, this rosy tone section of this palette is going to be bomb if you include Gemini, the rose gold. Like, you can really dip into both and like work it out. You want to use the greens in here. You need a little bit more green. I just think I think they're really well balanced, and I really do. And Mel has done a really great job. And this, I have a few Mel palettes, and these two are definitely my favorites. 150%. Absolutely my favorites. Where else are we going with this? I just think the setup's beautiful. Again, it's 10 eyeshadow. Yes, 10 eyeshadows. The setup is beautiful. I love that they still included the greens. It's fine that they went heavier on the rose. That's fine with me. I don't think it needed to be half and half again. I'm glad they did not include a black again, because we don't need, if you have a 10 pan palette, I think that's kind of the where like you need to have all the shades unique. It's not a large enough palette to be, yeah, you don't need all that. So yeah, I really enjoy that. Out of the two, I cannot pick which one's a favorite. I really can't pick which one. I love them equally. I really do. So at this point, before I finish rambling, I'm gonna go ahead and insert the two clips of this eye, of these eyes. Okay, so go ahead and watch that. Okay guys, so we are starting with the Gemini 1 palette, and I'm starting off by taking Leo and putting that in the crease. These shades definitely come off darker than they appear in the pan, so be aware of that. So I'm taking Leo and putting that in the crease, and then I am taking a bit of Cupcake and Polka Dot. Those are the browns, the matte browns that are in the palette, and buffing the edges. And I'm kind of going back and forth with those shades, trying to get a nice blend. Yeah, trying to make sure everything's kind of cohesive. And this is sped up, obviously. I'm cutting my crease with some concealer because I love a cut crease. I think I love a half cut crease more than a full cut crease. But we're cutting the crease with some concealer. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I don't have a favorite concealer to cut creases with. I've used Shape Tape for a while, but I use what I feel like using at that point in time. And so on the lid, the first half of the lid-ish, our first third, we're taking that beautiful rose gold shade called Gemini. We're taking that and we're putting that in the first third of the lid. This shade is very shiny, very, very metallic, and a bit messy. It can be a little messy. Then I'm taking Goals, which is the other non-matte shade in the palette. Beautiful metallic green, less messy, definitely less messy, and I'm putting that right next to Gemini. I use these shades because I kind of wanted you to get an idea of what they look like. There's only two non-matte shades in there. And then I'm going back in with Leo, right? I'm going back in with that dark green on the outer corner. Sorry, I'm all out of frame. The outer corner, but I'm dipping also my brush in Bonnie, which is the matte black, to try to get this dark green blend. And then I'm taking a little bit of Luna, the matte cream shade to put under the brow. And then I also took a whisper of Gemini to put under the brow, a whisper of it. And most of the time my eyeliner application's out of frame, so I left it out of frame. And I used a green eyeliner underneath the eyes. And there we go. That is the Gemini 1 look. I smudged a little bit of that green underneath as well, the green shade. All right, now we're moving on to the Gemini 2 palette. Same thing in the crease. I'm using one of the deeper shades. I'm using LX Queen in the crease. Again, it's coming out darker than it is in the pan. I kind of mixed a little bit of LX Queen and Lovesick on this side. And then I went in with Gemilas to buff out the edges. A little bit of Gemilas, I'm sorry, and a little bit of Sweetheart to buff out the edges of this side. So I wanted to do kind of the same type of look on both eyes so you can really see what's happening here. Cutting the crease again. We're doing a half cut crease again. To try to make the eyes look similar, used way too much concealer on this side. That's okay. We'll make it work. You see on the, if you're looking at the other eye here, you see how that shade kind of transfers, the Sparkle shade Gemini. It's fine, but just make sure you really have control over what you put on your brush. I definitely put too much on my brush at one time with that shade to make sure you don't get all that transfer everywhere. So I am taking Bella, the light pink shade, and we are putting that, again, showing up darker on the eye, putting that on the first third of the lid. And then I wanted to show that metallic shade. This is Schmood. I wanted to show that. Definitely not as messy as Gemini or the other palette. And I wanted to put that on. We're blending that with the matte shade. When you're blending a matte and a non-matte together, you got to pay extra attention, but we making it work. I am putting my tape on now. Forgot to put my tape on at the beginning of this look because that's what I do. And then I went back in with LX Queen to darken up the outer corner. Again, the same type of look. The same type of look here both ways. But that's where, that's where we're finishing that one off. And I am going to take a bit more of, oh wait, I'm sorry. I do my wing eyeliner on this side as well. Again, out of frame. One day I'll get it. One day I'll get this. One day. I put a pinky, like mauvey eyeliner on my waterline. And I wanted it a little bit more, just a little bit more. So I went over it with a more purple eyeliner. A little bit more purple eyeliner, and I kind of like that final look. And I'm smudging a little bit of Gemilas and a little bit of Love Sick, kind of tapped in both underneath the eye. And that's kind of where we are. There we are. And this is just a final shot of both. Hey, and so for both eyes, I'm wearing the Ioni Cosmetics 3D Faux Mink Lashes. These are my Dollar Tree lashes. This is in Wispy Long Crisscross. So I'm wearing those. I put green eyeliner, you saw in the clip, green eyeliner under this eye. I put a plummy, pinky plum, actually two eyeliners under this eye. And we have my highlighter from Sephora. This new highlighter duo I purchased in Golden Hour on the as my highlight and as well as my inner corner. And on my lips, I'm really kind of feeling this lip. This is the NYX Shine Loud lip liner in Rebel Kind. It's a brown lip liner, and then I went into an old Color Pop lippy stick. It's one of the matte ones, and this is Parker. So to give y'all this pinky, plummy, nudie goodness. All right, so back to these two palettes. I really am happy with them. I'm really excited about them. Do I want them to continue the series? I'll be honest, yeah. But also, like, if they're sticking with the rose theme, you can't go but so many ways. Okay? You can't go but so many ways. Even though this is technically not rose themed because roses aren't necessarily these colors, but I get the rose gold. Oh, but I'm just very happy. The packaging is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. It's textured. On this one, the Gemini 2, the 2 is the Gemini symbol, which is really nice. The metallic detail. Melt's packaging has always been top notch. It's always been really beautiful. Really thought out, if you will. Do I have anything else? Anything else to say about these? I'm just really excited. Which one should you get? That's up to you. If you want to get one, if your budget allows you to get one, you need to figure out where you're leaning. If you are a pinky or more burgundy, I should say burgundy fan, I would go with the Gemini 2. If you are more of the neutrals, I would go with the Gemini 1. Also, I do want to say something about these shadows. They go on deeper than they are in the pan. Okay, that's something that you will need to adjust for. So they have all the pigment in the world, but when you're looking and you want that deep green, I'm gonna be honest. So for example, Leo, it's deep. You're like, okay, I'll start with that. Probably start with this, because this is gonna look like this in the pan, and this doesn't look black, but it looks like an even deeper green. So that's something you, even the neutrals, they are maybe like two shades deeper applied on the eye with a brush. So that's something that you want to, and it's to scale. It's very consistent. All of them are like that. So even with the Gemini 2, you saw, like I was telling you, this shade here is on my lid. It looks like a light pink. Baby, that's pink. That's pink, baby. So they do get deeper applied on the eye. So that's something you might want to take note of. But yes, thank you for allowing me to talk about these palettes. I'm just very excited. I'm happy that they're in my collection. When I bought them, y'all, I took pictures. Follow me on Instagram. I took professional style product pictures of these palettes because they were so beautiful. They're so beautiful. I am going to not rearrange, but the palettes that I have on like display, I have a little display area. It's time to switch them up. Time to switch them up, and these are going over there after I use them a million more times. So thank you so much for letting me talk. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in this video, feel free to leave it down below. I love you all so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.